In the world of the ninja, there is yin and yang, light and shadow, femininity and masculinity. In the workings of shinobi, there are the sisters to the male counterparts. Trained in the arts of ninjutsu, they are trained to make use of their feminine nature to protect their clan, family, and country. As the most beautiful flowers of the world have thorns ready to draw blood, these are the venomous beauties that have helped shape history. They are the Kunoichi, the daughters of Shinobi. Since the dawn of civilization, as men fought for the right to possess power, wealth, and authority, women have helped play a role in the forging of history. In China, there were legendary figures such as Hua Mulan, who was famous for using disguise and trickery to battle against the Mongol forces. Another famous warrior of China is Kunoichi, a Ming woman who, according to legend, killed a Qing emperor and went on to the Shaolin Temple to become the founder of Wing Chun Buk Hok Kien, the mother of Kung Fu's Wing Chun Kien. The shinobi were skilled in espionage, intelligence, sabotage, and infiltration, but there were limits to how far a shinobi could go to achieve a successful mission outcome. There were several instances in which a daimyo or his general would be surrounded by security so that no man could get to them without risking exposure. In the ninja society, there were a group of women who trained in the same arts of ninjutsu, who were extremely versed in physiological tactics, or sex appeal, psychology, and information manipulation. The term kunoichi is thought to derive from the use of characters that make up the word onna, the Japanese noun for woman. In the history of the ninja, there is a certain kunoichi worthy of note. Mochizuki Chiyome, the wife of Mochizuki Moritoki, was the niece by marriage to the famous daimyo Takeda Shingen. Following the death of her husband at the Battle of Kawanakajima, Chiyome proceeded to assist the Takeda via the use of her ties to the 53 clans, the Kogaryu Shinobi. Chiyome proceeded to gather women from across Japan, many of whom were victims of the war in many different ways. Some were orphaned, others were tyrannized by the warring samurai forces, and took them under her wing, training them in the ways of what would be known as Kogaryu Kunoichi Jutsu. Chiyome trained them in the Kogaryu's ninjutsu techniques and strategies, and taught them how to manipulate male psychology, a trait that seemed almost sorcerous to the people of that time. Taught to take advantage of their feminine charms and the inherent lust of those in the samurai ranks for things sexually appealing, the kunoichi were able to lure them into a false sense of superiority. Using their sultry appearance and knowledge of psychology and sexual techniques studied by the shinobi over the centuries, the kunoichi were able to divulge all forms of important information. Once the intelligence was gathered, the kunoichi disposed of the one who gave them the intelligence required to cripple the forces of the enemy daimyo. Unlike their male counterpart, the Supa, Rappa, Kansha, and the other types that could only look in from the outside at times, the kunoichi used a wide array of disguises to attain information. It was customary for a kunoichi to dress as a miko, a musician, or even in major cases an oiran, to get close to a daimyo or his general to lure them into what is popularly known as a honey trap. Sometimes, and on certain cases, it would be necessary for a kunoichi to take the ruse deeper by marrying the general or act as a daimyo's concubine, create a family for him, and feign piety to him. Once the intel is collected to maximum efficiency, it is said that they'd kill the general and or daimyo and eliminate the family of that general, including the children she bore them, in order to prevent the daimyo or general's descendants from taking retribution in the future. Like their male shinobi counterparts, the kunoichi had a wide array of weapons, many of which were coated with poisons created from herbs used by the kunoichi for maximum lethality. Unlike the male shinobi, the kunoichi's weapons were, like the kunoichi themselves, focused more on the illusion of weakness. hidden as everyday objects, as Hanshi Dan Harmon of the Kokaryu School demonstrates.
Kunoichi, which is the female ninja, would have accessories. All women have accessories. Purses, umbrellas, makeup, so on and so forth. Now, a traditional accessory that the Kunoichi would have would be an umbrella, very much just like this one. Okay, now, in a situation for Kunoichi, one of the things they would do is they would blind you by placing the umbrella up towards your face and then pull it away just to stab you with a shuriken throwing spike. Now these shuriken throwing spikes are positioned and traditionally positioned right next to the spokes in a pouch, hidden pouch right next to the spokes of the umbrella. Now places like Seattle, Washington, stuff like that, England, so on and so forth, it rains a lot, so they're going to have an umbrella. Now, just because this is a Kunoichi accessory does not mean that a guy can't fix his black umbrella, his cool looking black umbrella, maybe with flames design on it, whatever, to have it set up the same way. Now,
as the Age of Peace began and the Age of the Samurai began to reach its end, the shinobi arts of the past waned. Because of this, it became essential to adapt with the times. Here, Hanshi Harmon demonstrates the modern weapons of the Kunoichi of today.
Little lipsticks and stuff in there, lip balms, so that they can be their lips and stuff. Now, here's my recommendation. Let's say you're in a situation where you're walking down the street, okay, and you see someone that looks like they might be a problem. You need to head down towards that direction to get to where you need to be. And you've already just got to walking through a bad area, and you don't want to have to go back through that bad area. You just want to get through the entire bad area to get to where you're going. So you're walking along. The guy comes up, approaches you, grabs you, boom. It's not lip gloss. It's pepper spray. Very simple. You place your thumb over the top of the pepper spray and you just rub it along your lips as you're walking. He comes up and grabs you. Boom, spray in the face. The whole time he's been thinking that you've been putting lip gloss or lipstick on your lips when actually you've been deceiving them. You've been preparing yourself so that if they come up and grab onto you, they're surprised to find that it's not lip gloss at all. Because a common person ain't going to turn around and think that they're going to be rubbing pepper spray on their lips.
As a traditional method of blinding an opponent for the shinobi and kunoichi would have been a special powder made from the juices of native spices and metal dust called metsubushi, today's more popular approach is to use pepper spray or mace to blind and incapacitate an enemy. In this next clip, Hanshi Harmon demonstrates another modern tactic a kunoichi can use.
Now these particular cell phones, they look like an actual cell phone, but you push one button and it becomes a taser and shoots out, I believe, 500,000 volts. Now, let's say you're walking along and you're in a bad neighborhood. While you're talking to your friend, you tell them where you're at. You give them an exact location and you give them a code word like, I'm in a nasty part of town. The second code word is, hold on, I got a call on my other phone. And you got to make sure that they know that you don't have a second cell phone. This way here, they can be listening in on a conversation, and if they hear something bad happening, they know to call the police on another line for you and to tell the police where you're at, okay? So, I'm talking on the cell phone to my friend. All of a sudden I see a nasty guy there that I don't trust. I turn around and say, hold on, I got to call on my other cell phone. I put this one down in my hand, having it on speaker so that they can hear everything. that, for safer reasons, have it on, not on speaker so they can't hear what they're saying in the background. Pull out the other cell phone, which is actually a taser, but designed to look like a cell phone. Put it up towards your ear like you're talking. They come up and grab you, you tase them. Okay?
Shinobi were well versed in using code to send messages to the Shinobi Gun or Ninja Army to which their clans related. For Kunoichi, the code was more elaborate. Using code words given to them by the Chunin handlers to assist in mission efficiency, some of the coded messages were used in the most unexpected ways. For instance, a love letter. In this particular letter, a woman named Yuki writes to her beloved Yamamoto. It appears by the untrained eye to be an ordinary love letter. But if one investigates a lot closer, they'll notice that there is actually a hidden meaning behind the love letter, as a secret coded warning to their clansmen and how to prepare themselves for the enemy's attack. This way, they would know the enemy's intent before the enemy ever had the chance to appear on their land. As they were women and did not have much in strength, the Kunoichi used their natural illusion of frailty and weakness to disorient opponents. Today, while often over-sexualized in fantasy, one truth remains about these deadly flowers. When a woman warrior of any kind lacks in brute strength, they make up for an ingenuity and a frightful knack for cunning. Thus are the Kunoichi, the fatal blossoms that have assisted in shaping the history of the world from the shadows.
Do you not playing around with my neuroscope of reality? I can feel it all start slipping away. See, but I don't get it. Don't you think maybe we can put it on credit? Don't you think I can take it, jump on, I don't let it. I get stupid boy. It's all the same as ain't living it, but I don't get it. Don't you think maybe we can put it on credit? Don't you think I can take it, jump on, I don't let it. I get stupid boy. I get stupid boy. All the people in the left wing, rock, and all the people in the right wing.